we are going to get started immediately on our show today. We have Tom Noacker. He is the president of South Summit Trails Foundation. So glad that Tom is with us today. Thanks for being here.
Thank you much.
It's great to connect with you on this exciting day. Tell me more about South Summit Trails Foundation.
Well, we started this organization about 4.5 years ago. It's really a nonprofit 501c3 similar to Mountain Trails Foundation. It has all the same scaffolding, I guess you would say, in organization, but we're on the other side of the county. And so we're dealing with a lot of different issues here that aren't prevalent in Western Summit County. So we're challenged in different ways, but we're creating trails just as Mountain Trails Foundation has in the past.
And we love our trails here in Park City. So important, but also South Summit Trails, you have some beautiful places that people can enjoy. So primarily, where are the most of your trails? Are they in Oakley? What part are we speaking of?
Yeah, so there were some existing trails. They were basically equestrian trails in the Oakley area of South Summit. And so we've expanded those trails with the help of the Forest Service. We've also created with Summit Land Conservancy a few small trails that should at some point in the future on our master plan be linked along the Weber River. So that would be the Weber River trails. That'll be about 6 miles when it's completed, possibly 7. And we're in conversations right now with some private landowners to gain some easements. And also working with the Summit Land Conservancy on a few property purchases that they've been able to initiate. And then we've had a great trail completion just recently in the National Forest at Yellow Pine off of the Mirror Lake Highway, where we just opened about 5.5 miles of new trail, all mountain bike and hike and run, no equestrian, no motorized vehicles. And that trail system will expand on about a 6.5 square mile parcel. So if you can imagine, that could be quite a few more miles of trail as part of the master plan. And we'll try to move forward with that in a 3-year project this year, next year, and the following year, adding to that. So that's pretty much where we're at. There are a few other existing trails out here in the Tuahey area, which are actually now public, used to be private. And there's, I think, about 9.5 miles total there. And then there's a Rocky Top Trail that's over by Francis, and that's about 4 miles there. So we're in the process of trying to connect some existing routes and create new.
I have enjoyed trails over in the Shingle Creek area by the Provo River pretty much every summer my entire life. They are beautiful. Not a lot of people head to those trails. If you haven't been to that part of the county, really encourage you to go and see those trails. And that's what your organization is for. It's for helping people find these spots. You have incredible maps. You're caring for these trails. It's a huge job. And you mentioned there's some unique challenges. Tell me a little bit more about those.
Well, I mean, I think on this side of the county, this is a cowboy county over here, and there's a lot of horse traffic. There are actually grazing rights. Like, for instance, the trail that we just finished in Slate Creek area, that is on a grazing allotment. Now, next year, that allotment is in a rest phase. So the fact that we got the trail built and finished now means that we'll have a good 12 plus maybe 15 months without any stock on the trail. We did create the trail up off of the stream bed far enough so that we don't think we're going to get a lot of interference with grazing. But that's just one of the issues. I know our trail builder was very concerned in October with the hunting season. He said he had never been in a situation where he was actually running trail building equipment and there were hunters around, and he was a little worried about that, and I don't blame him. I don't think that's a problem in the Park City Mountain area, or at least not as much as it is here. Those are actually minor problems. I think the bigger problems are some of the private landowners and the negotiations that have to take place. And they sometimes take a long time, and they sometimes go down a dead end, and you have to go around that private landowner. So those are just some of the issues that we face. But I'm really heartened and actually optimistic that we've been able to rise to the challenge and create some trails. And now that we have momentum and quite a few people involved in the organization, and we've expanded our board, and we got a broad reach now, which we didn't at the beginning. And I feel really quite optimistic about the future.
I think it's easy to take for granted all of the trails that we have here because they're just so prolific, and we're so lucky to have them. And the trails that you're speaking of are very close to Park City, 10, 20, 30, maybe an hour away at the most. So all very close to our area. We only have a few moments left, Tom, but I'm curious if someone wants to give to South Summit Trails Foundation during Live PC, Give PC, where will that money go?
Well, again, unique. We have no paid people. We're all volunteer organizations. So I think the only paid person is our accountant, and she donates part of her salary back to the foundation. So you're going to get well north of 90% of your money donated going into the actual trail building process. So we have a matching grant this morning with the New West Country Store in Camas, Utah, and we also have another matching grant coming up with backcountry.com. So all of the money that you donate in those matching grants goes pretty much directly into the ground. So it actually creates product, and we have no paid staff. It's all volunteer, all the trail work, volunteer work. So unique in that sense, I believe.
Well, Tom, thank you so much for joining us today on Park City Television. Big day, Live PC, Give PC. We hope to see you out on the trails soon. And if you can give to that organization, we encourage you to do that. You can head to Live PC, Give PC online to find out more about South Summit Trails. We'll be back with more on this busy Friday.